Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek and welcome back to my channel. So I know today I'm going to address a very sensitive issue and people will have comments, people will have judgments. I'm open to constructive feedback and constructive discussion, but please watch the video till the end so that you get a complete picture of what exactly we are talking today. And I'll not just talk about the problem, but we'll also discuss, dive into the core of the problem and try to see what is the future of cloud and what is the future of cloud engineering. Now, have you heard about a term called cloud repatriation? Or did you hear someone saying that 2023 is a year of cloud repatriation? Now, what is repatriation? Okay, so repatriation is basically people coming back to something. Like, everybody has moved to public cloud. There are startups, there are MNCs, there are huge organizations with some thousands of applications. Everybody moved to cloud. Now there is a trend of people coming back to on premises, right? Doing their private cloud, building their entire system on open whatever the software that wants to use, and they are building their own servers, their own ecosystem again. So this term in cloud is called as cloud repatriation. That is, people moving back from cloud to on premises is called as cloud repatriation. Now, what qualification do I have to talk about this topic? Because you people might say that, Abhishek, how do you talk about all of these things? Like, what experience do you have in this specific thing to talk about cloud repatriation? So just to let you know, I started my career as a cloud engineer, both development as a cloud engineer for a very popular bank in the Europe zone, where we migrated the applications from on premises to Azure cloud back then. And I have very good experience with Azure, AWS cloud, where I have worked with customers who have thousands of applications. And I'm not just talking about hosting an application on cloud, but I'm talking about hosting large scale organizations on cloud, hosting multiple microservices on cloud, dealing with their security, dealing with their communication between the different components, doing the backups, doing the replications, all of the things. So I've done on AWS and Azure. I'm a multi-cloud guy where I have experience with AWS, Azure, and I have done things on GCP by my own. I did not get opportunity to work on GCP for any organization, but I have done a few things on GCP as well. So with all of these things and dealing with customers on cloud providers in a large scale, I'm going to talk about this problem. And I've noticed this problem in the past. Probably many people who are working as a cloud engineers, they must have also noticed. But this video will all try to understand right from day zero. That means right from the problem zero to what is the thing that is happening right now and why cloud repatriation, or this term called as cloud repatriation, is gaining popularity. First of all, if I ask you a question, why people move to cloud? Okay, let's say there is a startup right now. I think for a startup, it's very easy that they just onboard onto any of this cloud platform, depending upon the discount that is offered. To be bluntly honest, that's one of the primary criteria that would be there for any cloud provider. Of course, we talk about a lot of things, but any startup, they would be looking at which cloud will charge me less, because most of the clouds these days have the solutions, unless you are very focused on machine learning or any particular thing. But if you are a very straightforward Java application or a Go language application or a Python application, that's the primary thing that you would be looking at. Which cloud offers me more discount, and which one can I onboard? But if you go to traditional or the organizations that have been for a while, why did they move to cloud, or why are they moving to cloud? Because there are still many organizations who are migrating their applications onto cloud providers. But why are they doing it, or why did they do it? So I can say there are two main reasons. Of course, you can talk about multiple reasons, but there are two primary reasons. One is managing, right? So if you are a MNC, or if you are a company with lots and lots of applications, so if you want to deal with them at your end, then you have to create your own data center, right? Then you have to, I'm talking about huge organizations. Like, let's say there is a top banking application, so they'll not deal with 5 or 10 microservices, right? There will be thousands of microservices, and to maintain all of these things at different environments, staging, dev, prod, so you will maintain your own data center. And maintaining a data center is a very tedious activity. You need to have a system administration team, you need to have people who have great experience with the servers, you need to have continuous backups to this server, you have to take care of your RAID configurations, RAID settings, and then you have to have a proper facility with good 24 hours backup of the electricity, and you need to have a good facility with continuous AC system. So there are a lot of things, right? So it's not a very small thing to manage your own data center, and this system should be available 24 by 7. So you have to take care of all of these things. So one of the primary things why people move to cloud is to get rid of all of these things, right? So if someone comes to you and says that you don't have to worry about all of these things, just give it to us, and we are AWS, we are Azure, or we are GCP, where we do manage services, and we take care of your entire infrastructure. You don't have to bother about their downtime, you don't have to bother about their maintenance, their patching. So many organizations said that, oh, that's so cool, you're going to do this for us, so that's going to amazing. I mean, that's going to be amazing. So that's one of the reasons. And the second reasons is cloud comes with a concept called pay as you go. So what is pay as you go? So how much you use, you just have to pay for it. And again, many organizations said that, oh, this is again very cool, because if we have our own data center, if we have our own servers, then whether you use it or not, you pay for what you purchased, and you also pay for annual maintenance, right? It's very common with any servers. So you have to get your annual maintenance done, you have to get your you have to pay upfront for the servers that you have purchased. If you are taking it for certain amount of time, then you have to pay for that certain amount of time. So again, this sounds very fascinating. I mean, it sounded very fascinating for the customers or for the users, and they just moved to the cloud. After using it for a certain period of time, now if you ask me, like, it's been like a decade of popularity of cloud, right? So we are in 2023. Probably people started moving to cloud actively in 2013, after the hype of AWS and after the cool features of AWS. Everybody started looking at cloud, and I think it's a proper decade where people have tried cloud. Now comes the very interesting aspects. Did cloud actually solve these two problems? And what new problems did cloud bring to people? Now watch the video till the end, because I'm not just going to complain, but I'm also going to talk about the advantages, and I'm also going to talk about the future of cloud engineering. Now don't get confused, or no, don't panic, assuming that I'm going to say that cloud is going to end or there is no cloud engineering. No, not that. Watch the video till the end. So coming back to the concept. So did cloud actually solve these two problems that we talked about? One is the maintenance overhead, and the other thing is the cost efficiency. Let's talk about point number one. Previously, there used to be system administrators, there used to be server admins, there used to be people who are taking care of your servers, basically, whatever name that you would like to give to those people. Basically, they used to take care of your infrastructure, maintenance, and all the stuff. Right now, there are cloud engineers who do that, or there are DevOps engineers who do that. Again, it depends upon the name, it depends upon the job description, job designation that you have for your organization. But there is a dedicated team even now who is taking care of creating the infrastructure, who is taking care of designing the infrastructure. The only thing that has gone is managing that infrastructure with respect to the annual maintenance, or managing the infrastructure with respect to patching, managing the infrastructure with respect to taking care that your system is 24 by 7 up and running. So these are the things that have gone away. But still, if you look at cloud, it's very niche, right? Many less people right now can handle cloud. Now, I'm not just saying that create an EC2 instance, create an S3 bucket, connect these two things, run your static application or run your dynamic application. And yeah, everybody can say that cloud is so cool, have tried cloud, but that's not the thing, right? When you try to do this at a scale, when you try to do this in an organization, when you try to do this for a banking sector application, let's talk about JPMC, let's talk about ABN AMRO, let's talk about ICICI, let's talk about HDFC. So there are very huge banks with large customer database. There are huge banks with multiple applications, features coming at very rapidly, bugs that have to fixed. When there is an issue with bank, you have to fix it right away. You have to make sure that your application cannot have any downtime. You have to make sure that your application is 100% secure. So if you try to do that, you would need a very sophisticated cloud engineering team. Okay. And the problem is this cloud engineering team is very difficult to get. Even till now, getting a proper cloud engineering team, or I mean, creating a proper cloud engineering team or hiring a proper cloud engineer is a very difficult task. Many people do the certifications, many people, learn about cloud through the Udemy videos, YouTube videos, multiple sources. But people with proper experience on cloud, having a very good experience demonstrating previous experience on cloud, is very difficult to get, because cloud is only around for last 10 years, right? And how many people have actually done it? So it's very difficult. And with that thing, what happens is not just the maintenance overhead that cloud has promised to solve. You haven't solved that completely, because again, there is an engineering team that is taking care of it. This engineering team is not a very simple team. In many organizations, this engineering team is a very big team. Sometimes it can be half of your development team as well. And additionally, it also created a problem with the sophisticated niche engineers, which are very difficult to get. You might get a DevOps engineer who is doing it. You might get a system administrator. Back back then, the system administrator was doing or managing the servers on data centers. Now he migrated, or he upscaled his technology stack as a cloud engineer, and he can manage cloud because he has complete idea of switches. He has complete idea of the data centers, physical servers, and everything. So, okay, some of you managed to get it, but again, the number of people you try to get is very less, because the cloud technology is niche and sophisticated even till date. Now, coming to the second problem, the cost efficiency. So this is a major pain for many organizations, that people haven't seen a significant growth, or sorry, they haven't seen a significant difference in the cost optimization. If you are a startup, if you are a mid-scale organization, you might see a lot of difference. But if you are an MNC, if you are tackling with hundreds of applications with security coming to picture, using lot and lot of managed services on cloud, you will not see a lot of cost efficiency at this point of time. And people have said that, like, at the end of the video, you can look at the description, where I'll provide you a lot of supporting documents for this argument that I'm making right now. And like I told you, I'll not just make the argument, but I'm also going to talk about the future of it. Don't worry about it. But look into the description to get all the documents, which will, you can deep dive into these documents, and you can also understand what is happening. So technically, the cost efficiency is not solved. And then there is third point, that is very, very, very important, the security. So you might say that, Abhishek, there is a VPC, or I'm just talking about one cloud provider, because it is very difficult to talk in the terminology of all the cloud providers. Let's just take AWS, because many people understand AWS. So you have VPC, you have subnets, you have NACLs, you have, you can do a lot of NATing, you can do route tables, you can do API gateways, all of these things, and you can start securing your applications. But, on the on-premises, the security level is much higher than the security level in cloud, right? Because you try to do a lot of things, but under the hood, you don't know what exactly, like, let's say you have created all of these things. The cloud technology is improving, and there is not equal amount of security that you can get with the on-premises. In on-premises, you can do a lot of things because they are your servers. You can try out a lot of things. You can do a lot of things with the firewall. You can install your own softwares. Right now in cloud, you don't have all the managed softwares that you can use on your on-premises. So security is another big problem that the organizations is facing. And because of this reason, primary reason is security, secondary reason is they haven't found any cost efficiency, and the third thing is cloud engineers are very heavily paid. Okay, so it's not that cloud engineers, you can just get a cloud engineer for less package, for the package that you are offering to a system administrator. If you are paying system administrator X amount, you need to pay 2x to the cloud engineer to get a cloud engineer, a proper cloud engineer. Again, I'm not saying, many organizations have job descriptions as cloud providers, and they don't do much, right? So if you are a dedicated cloud engineer, you'll be paid 2x to a system administrator. So this is one of the main reasons why organizations are moving back to on premises. The cloud repatriation, which I said at the beginning of the video, is gaining a lot of significance. Now, do you have to panic? Do you have to think that, oh, okay, I started learning cloud, and is this a problem to me? Technically, no. not at this point of time, because again, the number of MNCs, the number of startups versus the number of the number of startups versus the number of organizations that I'm talking about. Like, let's take about telecom, let's talk about BFS, let's talk about financial sector applications versus number of startups, mid-scale organizations, service-based companies, etc., etc. These are like, we are comparing 10% against 90%. So even till date, with the existing capabilities of cloud, 90% of the companies get benefited a lot. Because if you are a startup, let's say today we are on a call and we decided that we will start a company, the first thing that I would do is to use a cloud provider against creating my entire thing. If at all I have to pay a little more for my data center, still I'll go with cloud. If at all I have to pay little less for my data center, even I will go with cloud, because I don't want to manage all of those things, right? Again, I have to recruit people, I have to do things on my end, I have to make sure everything is working fine at my end. For large scale organizations, it will impact a lot, because for them it is dealing with I mean, not hundreds but millions of dollars, and for them it matters. But for a startup and mid-scale organizations, it does not matter at all. The easy solution would be to onboard on a cloud. Just talk to a cloud provider who offers you more discounts. Or if you are a dedicated applications on machine learning, AWS has very good services. Let's say I want to onboard, and if you want to onboard on Azure because of some X reasons, you will do that. And coming to the other problem of maintenance overhead, again, for small scale organizations and mid scale organizations, they don't need to get a sophisticated niche cloud engineers who understand, technically about the end to end of cloud. Uh, you can get people who can learn things by doing things at your organization, and that's what major number of companies are doing right now. So if you look at 90% of cloud engineers, I mean, I can be wrong here, but this is according to my experience. If you look at 90% of cloud engineers, so 90% of the cloud engineers are not people who have end-to-end knowledge demonstrated in their previous work. They have good experience, understanding of cloud. They have done some certifications, they have done some research, proof of concepts at their end, but that will be with 2 or 3 applications on your personal laptop or on your personal AWS account. It's not that you have worked with hundreds of applications on cloud provider. You will learn by doing things in your organization, right? So that's what, like, if you are a small scale company, if you are mid scale companies, then the repatriation of cloud might not impact you at this point of time, might not even impact you in the future. I'll tell why. But the large scale organizations are considering the cloud repatriation, and they are doing it. People are building Kubernetes solutions on their on premises, people are building their data centers back, and people are working on it. You can look into the description and get the links for the as a supporting documents to what I'm talking about, and it will be very interesting read. If you're interested, yeah, definitely go through it. Now, going back, how these cloud providers have to solve the problem of cloud repatriation. So like I told you, the cloud providers have to offer more and more security, because there is a lot of sensitive information that these people have. For example, we talk extensively about Kubernetes. Even Kubernetes have to solve a lot of problems with secret management. So if they are building the solutions on cloud, and if this managed Kubernetes services provided by EKS or managed Kubernetes services provided by Azure, if they don't offer strong secret management solutions, then why would a client or why would a customer, banking sector application, onboard onto your managed solution Kubernetes? He can create a Kubernetes cluster on his on premises and he can start doing things, because end of the day, the hardware, the secrets, everything is in his or her in their infrastructure, right? So this is a core problem, and the cloud providers have to come up with these things. They have to build a lot of solutions. They have to offer and make the customers more comfortable and feel that cloud is very reliable option, even for these large scale companies with a lot of sensitive information. So I think that is how where we need to see how the cloud providers will tackle the problem of cloud repatriation. I think it's a known issue for the cloud providers, and it should be one of their priorities to onboard the BFS domain, telecom domain, large giants. Yeah, I hope that will happen, and I hope they are already working on these solutions for the cloud repatriation. But if you are an engineer, you don't have to worry much there, because 90% of the people would not consider, organizations would not consider cloud repatriation at this point of time. They will be watching for the cloud, what are the features that the cloud is going to bring, and definitely cloud is going to tackle this problem to some extent. So let's see, it's a very interesting thing that's going to happen, and all of us will be very interested to understand. But end of the day, whether it's cloud, whether it's on premises, it shouldn't bother you, because if you understand the concept, even you can do the things on premises, or you can do the things on cloud, because end of the day it's networking, end of the day it's hardware, end of the day it's volumes, end of the day it's backups, right? So it shouldn't bother you. That's my final take. But it will be very interesting to follow these things and understand what is happening in this space, so that you keep yourself updated and know the problems and understand how these people are solving the problem, so that you get involved and understand the entire ecosystem. So this is a video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't miss to watch the links in the description. Click on the links and read through the links, so that you also understand what is happening in this space. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Take care, everyone. Bye.